A man that probably needs no introduction to the local Hillsdale community, Representative Eric Leutheuser.
Yeah, what a pleasure to be here with you, great Americans. This is a great time for a rally. We can have the place all to ourselves because it's Joe Biden's nap time. So there's no competition. Some people are riding with Biden this year. I think more people are hiding with Biden in the basement. I don't understand this campaign where you run on your opponent's personality instead of on your own accomplishments after 40 or 50 years in office. I just think that takes a tremendous amount of I think it's an insult to the American people. You're talking about having the most important job in the country, and you don't have a plan. You were the last place person in the primary of your party in some states, but your party was leading with such far out communists that the movers and shakers said, we've got to pick somebody else quick. Who can we find? They found Sleepy Joe, and they brought him up front. And then Sleepy Joe says, okay, now what are we going to do? His enthusiasm meter was just really pegging. So he said, we got to energize our base because Trump's collecting all these votes from, the polls are going the wrong way with the minorities and the working women. We don't understand this. Oh, so we got to give him a running mate that will help us with that demographic. This is a poll-tested candidacy that we're running against. So who they find? They find someone who got 2% in the primary in her home state. I mean, that's quite a track record. She was doing so poorly, she had to drop out. So we're running against the weakest ticket that they could come up with. But the sad thing is, the strongest ticket, we're full-blown socialists. This is America in 2020, folks. It's unbelievable. And this is a war, as has been said before. And we do need to have all hands on deck. Before I do one more thing, I do want to give you two names to remember because they're not going to be on the Republican ballot. They're in the nonpartisan part of the ballot. The Michigan Supreme Court, very important. Brock Schwartzel, a good Irish name just like Leutheuser. Remember Schwartzel? And Mary Kelly. These two people were nominated at the Republican convention, but they're not going to be in the Republican part of the ballot. They're going to be on the nonpartisan part. But these are the conservative, constitutional-minded candidates for Supreme Court. So remember Schwartzel and Kelly. I was able to work with Brock Schwartzel in the House of Representatives as our counsel for a little bit of time. Folks, I'm going to be very brief. We're right on schedule, maybe a couple minutes late, but I want to keep us on schedule. But I want to thank you all for being here. All of you honored the elected officials here today with your support, your votes. You honor us with your presence here. I would like to just say, I truly believe this. One of the ways that we can maybe reach our neighbors is through prayer. I'm sincere about that. We're going to talk about doors, and we've talked about calling people, and it's absolutely true. But there are some neighbors of ours that are well-intended people. There's a small number of them that haven't decided for sure yet. There's a small number. And you got to remember, they've been fed little bits of poison every day for the last 5 years. They didn't go looking for it. They were on Facebook. They were looking at pictures of their grandkids, minding their own business. Then they clicked on something, and they got a little piece of poison the next day. And they clicked on that, and they got another little piece of poison the next day. And so for 5 years, computers have been sending them poison, telling them that Donald Trump is locking up kids in cages. 1 week, a couple weeks ago, do you remember for about 48 hours, Donald Trump was supposed to have mocked fallen soldiers? Do you remember that? Yeah. Absolutely bogus, made up, found some soulless hack to make the claim. Why do you think that happened? Because the computers and the pollsters found out that the person who's got the most support among enlisted people is going to be the president. Donald Trump is the choice of the enlisted people. But these 10% of the people who haven't made up their mind yet don't know that. So they'll slander the president. They'll slander all the enlisted people that support the president. to affect the brains of those people. There's another little piece of poison. We need to get on our knees and pray for this president and pray for this country, because it is a war for the soul of this country. And when we have all three branches of the government controlled by one party, it's going to be a one-party state, one-party rule. The whole country could look like California in a hurry, and there's no coming back from that. So I urge you to be inspired, I urge you to be encouraged, I urge you to be humble before our God. Now let's go to him in prayer these next 43 days too, or 47 days. Let's go to him in prayer together every day for this election. Thank you so much. God bless you.